Hello, hello, and welcome once again. J76NY here, and we are back in the early days of the Civil War, playing as the Union on Grand Tactician, the Civil War. So far in the war, things have gone okay. We had one victory over here in Alexandria, our first battle. Second battle down in the Shenandoah Valley, we unfortunately were defeated. We've got the Department of Pennsylvania with 12,000 men. They are retreating right now. They're kind of surrounded. They've got the Army of Shenandoah with 18,000, Army of Potomac, the Confederate Army of Potomac with 20,000, and the Army of the Northwest with 22,000. So they've got about 60,000 troops arrayed against them so far. What I think it might be time to do is to start sending our armies down. What's this little thing? Never seen that before. So we've got 17,000 in the Army of Northeastern Virginia under Irvin McDowell. He is still waiting for some cavalry and infantry to show up. It shouldn't be too much longer before he has his full force. We've got the Army of the Potomac with 9,000 men under Joseph Hooker. If we send both of these armies down, they're still going to be at a serious disadvantage. But we kind of have to practice a little patience here. Over here, we've got McClellan, who is kind of ready to move. He's got 23,000 men. He's still waiting for quite a lot of them to show up, though. But same with him, there isn't a whole lot of time until the rest of his forces show up. So we're going to give him a couple days. Actually, I'm going to change that. And we are going to give Mr. McClellan the order to move. We're going to have him come down. We're going to have him come down here and head towards Grafton. There's a supply depot there, so alright, we're going to move him by train. Going to be 3 hours until the orders get there. Really should start working on telegraphs. Over in the west, the site of the only Confederate invasion so far, the Missouri State Guard is up against the Department of the West. They are outnumbered considerably. I think probably 5-1. So I don't think they're even going to fight, but we are moving down to push them out. We're going to give them the order to move. We've got the Army of the West up here, 10,000 men. They are at full strength, so we're going to give them the order to let's see, where do we want to send them? The main objective of our western units is Memphis, so we're going to try and start pushing down into Arkansas and then move over into Tennessee. We'll send him down into Arkansas as well. And our Navy up here. We've got the Lake Michigan Squadron. I want them to support the attack on Memphis. So we are going to move them down here. Okay, out on the eastern seaboard. Right now we are looks like we're blockading Condition is alarming. Awaiting orders. Wonder why they're heading back. The Block Island Sound Squadron. And the home squadron up here, they're blockading this. Now we do still have 2 Northeast armies moving down. We got the Army of New England here. They're encamped. I do believe that I gave them orders to move down, move south. They are ready to go with their 9,000 men. So we're going to move them down to Frederick. Going to give them orders to move by rail. Hopefully get them there a little sooner. And then up here, we have the Army of Maine. I might combine these 2 armies, just because they're both very small, and small armies at this point aren't going to work for me. So we'll move them down to Frederick as well. Give them the order to move by rail. As far as our policies go, we are 6.2 days away from Militia Act 3. That extends the contracts and new volunteers out to 24 months, so that would be helpful for us going forward. Next policy I'm going to choose is Industrialization 1, or, well, we already have, well, print notes. That's what I was looking at, print notes. Kind of keep our credit rating and our financial situation under control. So let's get started with the campaign and see what happens. Okay, the Army of the West is awaiting orders, as well as these guys. What I'm really concerned with is the situation here in the Baltimore, Washington area. Okay, he is retreating, so he's retreating further into enemy territory, suffering casualties along the way. That's less than ideal. So far, it doesn't look like the Confederates are moving up to challenge us up here, so that's a good thing. Still retreating. Department of the West, how you doing? You're moving down. Missouri State Guard is pulling out. His readiness is not the best. Let's take a look at the Army of New England, see how they're doing. Alright, they are on the move, as well as the Army of Maine, which doesn't look like they're moving at all. Alright, he's encamped. He can't move just yet, so not really sure where to go with him, because he is kind of cut off and surrounded. So I may send him up, try and get him over in this area, or back up into Union territory. See how our naval forces are doing here. Atlantic Blockading Squadron, I think I'm going to see, where can we send you? send you down to the Charleston area. Okay, so once something happens, I will get back to you and report the progress. Okay, Union calls for volunteers, 2-year contract, so we have the next policy selected. So we are going to go with industrialization. That's 27 days and 21 days. We're going to go with industrialization. Okay, so we were defeated in the disaster at the Tennessee River. Our river raiding squadron that was on its way back took a beating at the Battle of the Tennessee River, so that's unfortunate. Now we only have one ship here, which is not the best, so there we go, our first naval defeat. Okay, so the Army of New England has arrived at the front, and we are going to transfer them to the we're going to transfer some of them to the Army of Northeast Virginia. And then the others, I believe I'm going to send them to the Army of the Potomac. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for them. And I believe we can add more units at this point. We should have some recruits ready. So that'll bring them up to 26,000 once all the divisions get there. They've got 10 days. The Army of the Potomac is up to, or they will be up to, probably about 25,000. Department of Ohio under George McClellan is in enemy territory, and we are moving him down to relieve the Department of Pennsylvania. We still have pretty sizable forces down here, so Mr. McClellan, you move out. Department of Pennsylvania is retreating. Now what I can do here, I think, is let's go up here and try and recruit a new army. Oh yeah, look at all these, 87,000. We're going to pull them out of Maryland. That's the Army of the Shenandoah. So I'm going to build that army, and I will be right back and show you what I made. Okay, so the newly formed Army of the Shenandoah is going to include 4 divisions of infantry, 3 brigades each, plus an artillery battalion, 2 divisions of cavalry. We've got 54 days, 30 days, 20 days, 18 days, 12 days. So they are forming up nicely. Let's take a look at our commanders. See who we could put in charge of this. Got Winfield Scott. He's legendary, cautious, skilled in diversion. What's this guy? He's a rising star, distinguished, good administrator, predictable. We'll leave him as he is. Now, the thing that I noticed as I was building this is I've got almost 20,000 recruits available out of New York. So I may form a New York Army. I am from New York, obviously, 76NY. So that may be something going forward, but I'm going to let these guys form up. Take a look at the strategic situation here. Department of Ohio is moving down. I gave them orders to move down and relieve the Department of Pennsylvania, which is leaving. The armies in this area have kind of vanished, leaving the Army of the Shenandoah with 20,000. I did fold the New England Army into these two armies, as you saw, so we are looking pretty good. We've got a glorious victory at Fort Pickens. Florida State Militia retreating in panic, so apparently we took a fort. I'm going to pause that for a second. There it is right there. Now we have a Fort Pickens garrison. The Florida State Militia with 873. Apparently we have a Navy down here somewhere doing mischief. I didn't even know I was attacking them. Well, hey, surprise, surprise. Now our credit rating dropped considerably with the recruitment of that army there, so let's take a look at the situation out west. Department of the West is building a supply depot here. The Army of the West is starving, but they are moving south towards the Missouri State Guard, which only has 3,200 men. What are these guys sitting at? I'm going to add some more units to the Army of the West. Pull them from Tennessee. See what I mean here by New York has almost 20,000. That's a good thing. I guess we're not going to pull them from Tennessee, so we can pull them from Wisconsin. We'll go with infantry. Give them some more infantry. I'm going to have to bump that down a little bit. Have a smaller infantry brigade. Give them red uniforms. Not sure why I really care about the colors of their uniforms. Ohio. We can send infantry from Ohio. It's going to take them a little bit to get there, but... And because we have our artillery all in one division, we're going to leave that as is. Iowa or Kansas. And we'll pull them from Iowa. Why not? There we go. What do I want to do with you? Do I want to add another group? I'm going to add another artillery group, division. We'll pull them from the Indian Territory. We'll go with horse artillery. Never actually used them. Can't really have a whole lot, so... But we'll go with horse artillery. I think I spent all my upgrades already, so... Should be able to fill this out pretty good with Indian Territory recruits. I still haven't taken a army that has had the separate artillery divisions into battle, so it may be a complete disaster. Who knows? Okay, that's the Army of the West. I want to take a look and see the size of our Army of the Shenandoah. 37,000 men once they all get assembled. That's going to be a force to be reckoned with there. Okay, so I have decided to send... Okay, now we have 3-year contracts, or the Confederacy does. I have decided to send the Army of Northeastern Virginia down into the Shenandoah Valley. We've got Hampton's division with 7,000 coming up to join the Army of Shenandoah. We've got the Department of Ohio with McClellan sitting just outside of the Shenandoah Valley. He's got 23,000. Department of Pennsylvania is a little low on the readiness, but I want them to participate if anything happens here. If we can get the Army of Northeast Virginia and these 2 armies in, then we might stand a pretty good chance. It does look like they are moving Hampton's division up into the valley, so what we are going to do is try and surround them here. They are definitely moving. Looks like they may be making a move on the Army of the Potomac. I don't think they're going to like the results of that, but they are moving. Let's take a look out west and see how we're doing. Okay, we got the Missouri State Guard. They're still wildly outnumbered by the Army of the West. They may be making a move on them, though. Let's see where we can send Vicksburg, Memphis. I don't know what they're thinking, sending 3,000 up against almost 20,000, but if that's what they want to do. All right, these guys are full readiness, so we're going to move them down here. And if they want to scrap with us, we'll definitely scrap with them. 5 hours. I should probably build some telegraphs. I keep saying that, but I never do. Okay, so Hampton's division ran into Alexandria and then pulled back. They did do something about our supply depots here, which is probably not a good thing. We've still got McClellan. I think he's at his destination now. Oop. What's he up to? Marching. So he is still heading into the Shenandoah Valley. Looks like he's where he needs to be. Okay, we got the Army of Northeastern Virginia coming down. McClellan, we're going to have you move up. Looks like this is going to be an engagement over here. Department of Pennsylvania is not doing too bad. We've got the Army of the Potomac moving over to deal with this. Whatever happened over here seems to have just gone away. Army of the Shenandoah is still forming up. Out west. I'm going to pause here because I think we're about to see some action. Alright, so out west we've got the Army of the West, which is moving down on the Missouri State Guard. And the Department of the West, which is moving down as well. Western Army has 28,000, so... We've got 15,000 in the Department of the West, and 20,000 in the Army of the West. See what our Navy's up to here. Alright, let's advance time. See who gets into a fight first. Okay, they are massing their forces in this area here. It could be an issue because we are moving in on them. They are pretty surrounded, so hopefully this is, they're booking back over. Alright, so we got Industrialization 1. So we can select a new policy. Alright, here is the engagement we've been waiting for. It's the Department of Ohio and the Army of Northeastern Virginia with 33,415 men or infantry. We've got about probably 35,000 as opposed to their 28,000. Army of the Shenandoah and Hampton's Division. We are going to be on the field simultaneously, so these guys are kind of fucked. Starting out with 21,000 men, so Hampton's Division 7 hours away. I think I'm gonna have this episode be just kind of a strategy episode, and we'll get into this engagement in the next episode. I do like to include some just strictly strategy and troop movements and stuff like that. I know it might not be the most exciting thing to watch, but it gives you an idea of my mindset in terms of the overall campaign. And these battles can be kind of long, so I don't know if you guys would want to sit through an hour-and-a-half episode. So we're going to get into this battle in our next episode. Anyway, if you have any tips or advice as to what I should do next going forward, I'm always open to that. Leave those in the comment section below. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I like hearing from my viewers and interacting with you guys. It's pretty fun. And so far I've had some, at least in my Confederate campaign, I've had some very helpful advice. I've employed that advice and made out better for it. So if you want to help the series and my channel out a little bit, hit the like button if you're new and would like to come along with us through our Union campaign in the Civil War. Wouldn't mind having you. Hit the subscribe. And as always, J76NY saying thank you very much for watching and have yourself a very good day.